Live at 5, a new segment that I'm going to be doing over here on my second channel. I hope you guys are having an excellent day. And yeah, we're going to be talking, as you see in the title, Deadpool and Wolverine is a month away officially. We're going to be talking about the big announcement today that Marvel Studios is going to be at San Diego Comic Con the same weekend as Deadpool and Wolverine at Hall H. So give me some of your predictions of what we could get announced at that event, and we're going to talk maybe some James Gunn Superman stuff as well. That's pretty big right now. No spoilers included because, not everybody has seen everything and not everybody wants to know everything about the film. So, yeah, it's going to be a mixed bag, but the big headliner is obviously Deadpool and Wolverine. So, yeah, let's see what we can get into. I hope you guys are excited for the film. If there is anyone currently here, let me know that you're here. And what's up, Marvel fan? What's up? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. If you didn't hear earlier, we're going to be talking about different things: Deadpool and Wolverine, the Marvel announcement of the panel at San Diego Comic Con, and some James Gunn DC stuff as well. So we're gonna be doing so much. What's up, Carter? What's up, my man Carter? What's up, guys? It's awesome to see you guys here. I know you guys are big fans of Marvel and DC and sort of the things in between. So it's gonna be a good conversation and really looking forward to it. But yeah, starting out with Deadpool and Wolverine, we are officially 1 month away. Tons of promotion. There's already billboards up in LA. I think there's already collaborations. There's some new popcorn merch buckets and all that cool stuff that's coming out. So it's pretty awesome to see all of this stuff coming out 1 month away. Ryan Reynolds posted something really interesting on his story with the Avengers flag being defaced with a black uh, A on it. So that's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be about. There was also a Marvel podcast today that announced some Fantastic Four stuff. Uh, Kevin Feige also confirmed Wonder Man is actually a thing, which we kind of knew that Wonder Man is a thing, but he officially confirmed it. He also talked. I know that next week on the podcast, Brad Winderbaum, who is head of Marvel television and animation, he's going to be on there talking about some of the upcoming projects. So if you guys want me to do a live stream kind of going over all that, we can definitely do that. I hope we get a new trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. Honestly, I thought we were going to get one today since today is officially 1 month. I thought we were going to get one today, but it seems like maybe it's tomorrow or maybe it's Thursday. I'm not sure. Well, tomorrow is Thursday. Maybe it's going to be Friday. So we'll have to see. Also, I am so excited for the character Wonder Man. It's a character I love. Yeah, can you inform me on Wonder Man, because I don't know that much about him. I've heard of him and I've seen his character in a comic book panel, but I don't know that much about him. Is he an actor? Because I've heard that he's an actor of some kind, but again, I don't know that much about him. But I'm really looking forward to that show because the actor, I've seen him in a couple of other projects, and he's a really good actor. So yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying. Okay, nothing right now. Also, we got the trailer for Batman Cape Crusader. So if there's anybody out there who maybe didn't see my trailer reaction, go check it out on my other channel, Jace the Don. Pretty good looking trailer. I'm looking forward to Batman Cape Crusader. Definitely has the Batman the Animated Series vibes to it. The new voice actor for Batman sounds like Kevin Conroy. There's some interesting villains in there. I think Carter Blake, you told me Automatopoeia. I believe that was the name of the villain. Very interesting villain, so I am going to look him up and his backstory. Let's see, Carter Blake. I do love the second Deadpool. I do love the second Deadpool and Wolverine trailer. It was very Wolverine based. Yeah, it was. The scene with him in the bar. Tons of stuff from Wolverine, and that this is a different Wolverine. This isn't the same Wolverine we've known since the early X-Men movies. That Wolverine is dead. This is a new one. So I like that they specified this and they continue to specify it. I got you. So he started off as a villain that was supposed to be like an inside man. So he was joining the Avengers, and he was evil. And he was trying to take them down from the inside. And then he realized all the Avengers are actually good, and I should be good like them. He has a acting job where he uses his powers as a stuntman of some sorts. Ooh, okay, that's really interesting. That's a really interesting backstory. So I'm definitely gonna have to read up on Wonder Man because I am someone who is looking to be an actor himself. So that may be a character I could relate to. So I'll definitely have to check out some comics. If you have some comics of Wonder Man, definitely recommend them to me. He's also like okay, so he's Beast's best friend too. Okay, that's interesting. I could see them doing a lot of quotables with each other from movies. Beast is a guy with quotables. Wonder Man, he's an actor, so he definitely has some quotables. So I could definitely see them just having a thing where they're just referencing pop culture movie references. And also, if you guys have any predictions of what we could see at the Hall H panel at San Diego Comic Con, definitely give me some predictions. I have some predictions myself. First off, I think obviously we're gonna see Young Avengers since they teased it in the Marvels. I think we're gonna see the Young Avengers get announced. I'm hoping for Doctor Strange 3 because I feel like Doctor Strange is still there's still so much more with Doctor Strange. Um what who else? I said I was talking to my buddies earlier on a Discord call about some things that we were suggesting. Um and I think what they're gonna do to close it out. Now, this isn't me confirming anything or saying anything, but this is just a guess. Imagine if they close out San Diego Comic Con with the untitled X Men movie that apparently they're working on. That's just a guess, but it would be cool if they do decide to close it out San Diego Comic Con with that because that would be very big. Let's see. I recommend checking out Mary Marvelite's video on him. Okay, he's also really powerful. Like he is super OP. Okay, I'll check out his video. I'll check out his video. I heard in Secret Wars that we might get a multiverse Avengers team with Sam Raimi Spider Man and Tom Cruise Iron Man. You know, that would be really cool. And Secret Wars, if they're gonna make Secret Wars this big event, which I've been hearing that Secret Wars is gonna be split into two parts, so they're gonna split up the story, which is nice. Which that's what I was hoping they would do with Secret Wars. I don't think Secret Wars being one movie is enough. That's an event that you need to do two movies on, if not three, in my opinion. So it would be cool to see, different characters from different universes, some that we've seen, some that we haven't seen yet, pop up into the Secret Wars. Especially if they decide to reboot Marvel after Secret Wars, which has been somewhat of the plan that we've been hearing, but we don't really know for sure if that's actually going to happen. I heard that Sinister might be the villain for that X-Men movie. Yeah, I heard that too. And if so, who do you guys think should play Mr. Sinister? If you think if he is going to be the X-Men, the villain for the X-Men film, because I think Sinister would be a nice beginning for that. Because I think doing Apocalypse would be too early to do Apocalypse. So starting out with Sinister, he's the most well-known X-Men villain out there, besides Magneto. Which Magneto, he's a tweener. He's in between. Yeah, Mary Marvelite explains it so much better than me. He explains the character really good. Okay, I'll make sure to bookmark that for when I go on YouTube tonight. I'll actually try to watch the video tonight because I might actually buy a Wonder Man comic because he does seem like a really interesting character that I would like to get into and just kind of know more about his overall character. I don't know who will play Mr. Sinister in the MCU X-Men. Yeah, I'm trying to think of someone who could play good Mr. Sinister, but as of right now, I don't really have any ideas as to who. I think Henry Cavill would be a good Mr. Sinister. Hmm, that could be interesting. Though I have heard Henry Cavill has talked to Marvel about a role. We still don't know what that role is. A lot of people have been saying maybe it's Sentry because he's played Superman, so the whole Sentry thing. That could be. He could play Sentry. There's also been talks of him playing Captain Britain, which that'd be cool. Excalibur, you know, bringing them in. Because those are some like, I mean, everybody knows like Captain Britain, but not everybody knows the whole Excalibur team. I don't even know the whole Excalibur team to the fullest, but I have heard of Excalibur, and I do know of Captain Britain and a few others. But yeah, that would, like I said, that would be cool. Mrs. Sinister, that would be an interesting choice. There's a lot of potential roles Henry Cavill could play. Um, But I just hope with the X Men movie, like I wonder like if they do an X Men movie, what roster do you think? What roster do you think they need to start with? Because I would love for them to start with the original roster, like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Angel, like start from the beginning, and then like over time work towards the newer classes, and we get a switch of the X Men teams. I think that would be cool. Because don't get me wrong, I love seeing the X Men team at X Men '97, but I would love to see a different team of X Men because we there's a lot of characters we haven't seen. I heard they will do the X Men '90. Let's see. Okay, what do you think the biggest cameo will be in Deadpool and Wolverine? Hmm, that is a good question. I would say it has to be someone on the X Men team that we haven't seen in a while. But as far as who that could be, I'm not sure. Well, I heard that they will do the X Men '97 lineup, which if they do, I don't mind. I actually don't mind that if they do. Like I love that lineup, but if they decide to do another lineup with the original team or maybe a team before them, I wouldn't mind that either. I don't know if they will include Nightcrawler, Forge, Cable, Sunspot, but that's what I heard. They didn't say any specific members, so you can take it as you can. Yeah, yeah. We'll just have to see when we get there. What Thunderbolts members do you want in the MCU? Thunderbolts members do you want in the MCU? I don't know much about the Thunderbolts actually. So this is actually when it got announced back in San Diego Comic Con, I actually didn't know anything about the Thunderbolts, and I still don't even now. So, um, honestly, I don't know what the team could be. I was thinking maybe Baron Zemo would have been on the team, but he isn't on the team. So I was like, okay, well maybe they got something else planned for Zemo. But I know Yelena's on there, Ghost is on there, uh, Taskmaster, is that Taskmaster, Red Guardian. Who else is on the team? Bucky Barnes. I thought Bucky Barnes was a good addition. I like Bucky. I liked him obviously in the Captain America movies. I like this character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's cool that we're gonna get more of him. I never really saw him as a team player, so I wonder how that's gonna play out. My ideal lineup is Jean Grey, Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, Iceman, Angel, Storm, Gambit, Rogue, Morph, possibly Psylocke, and Colossus and Professor X. Also maybe Nightcrawler. Yeah, yeah, they could do that for the original lineup. Cause we have seen Psylocke, but we haven't really seen Psylocke. You know what I'm saying? And Colossus would be a really nice addition too. And Jubilee and Kitty Pryde are good shouts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of X-Men characters they could pull from. I would like to see Kitty Pryde on the team because we haven't seen her, and I feel like Jubilee. We did get Jubilee in the other X-Men movies, but we haven't like got her in action, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the characters that we got in action have come from X-Men 97 or X-Men the animated series. So it would be cool to see how their powers would work into a live action setting. Which, by the way, I still am going to review all the X-Men movies. I probably won't do them in line with Deadpool and Wolverine, but I do want to review all of the X-Men movies, at least up until I'm finished with all the X-Men movies. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Obviously, I'm going to start out with the 2000s X-Men. That's going to be the first movie I review. So I'll try to watch that one this weekend and then give you guys a review next week on that film. Hold on a minute. Guys, I'm trying to text someone. So don't mind me. Sorry about that. All right. All right, awesome. All right, we're back. What is your X-Men lineup? But there's a catch. Only 10 members and Professor Xavier is automatically there, but he just doesn't count in year 10. Okay. So I'm going to do Storm, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, um, Colossus, Jubilee, Kitty Pryde, Beast, Forge, and Gambit. Those are my 10. If they do X-Men as a side story for the MCU Phase 5, might happen since it's going a soft reboot for the MCU. Yeah, that would be a way to, you know, if they want to build up like Avengers versus X-Men in the future, what they could do is just make Phase 7 and 8 about the X-Men, and then they can tease the whole Avengers thing in between. Which haven't they? I believe they categorized Miss Marvel as a mutant. I believe they have. So, how would you guys feel about like Miss Marvel maybe crossing paths with the X-Men at some points? Let's see. They should use Apocalypse's as the big mini big boss. Yeah, yeah. So if you guys, if they do decide to do that, Apocalypse as the mini boss, well, who would you guys want as like the main boss, like the end all be all? Nice picks, but no Wolverine. Yeah, I guess the reason why I said no Wolverine is because as much as I love Wolverine, like I love Wolverine as a character, but I feel like I don't want people to feel like I feel like we've been exposed to Wolverine so much that um I don't want to I don't want to feel like Wolverine is a character that gets oversaturated, if that makes sense. Because I feel like it depends. Because I feel like X Men '97, though some people complained about how he was, I feel like X Men '97 did a good balance of not, having those moments with Wolverine, but not making it the Wolverine show, if that makes sense. Like everybody got their shine. And I think if they're gonna do an X Men movie, that's what they need to do. They need to make every character, every X Men character feel special, feel that they can carry their own, but also work together as a team. See, in the comics, she's being retconned as a mutant, so maybe she'll cross paths, and even she becomes an X Men in the comics now. So I don't really know. Maybe they'll try to follow the comics. Yeah, like I said, that could be interesting. I think Miss Marvel is an interesting character, and I hope we get to see more of her because the actress that plays her, she does like a really good job of playing her. So I hope we get to see more of her character in the future. Rather, it's she shows up with the X Men, or she has her own side adventures. Let's see. Magneto should be the big bad of the X Men, but honestly, I think Apocalypse should be. He's like the same level power as Thanos, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that I could see like you said, Apocalypse could definitely be the big bad too, if not Magneto. But Magneto should definitely be the big bad first, and then maybe Apocalypse afterwards. Let's see. For my non-Wolverine lineup for the X-Men MCU is Cyclops, Jean Grey, Sunspot, Nightcrawler, and Colossus. Okay, that's a solid. That's a really solid lineup. Now, because if they're going to do a whole phase, say for example they're going to do a whole phase on the X-Men, what characters do you feel deserve a show? That's a good question. What characters do you feel deserves a show, or you would like to see have their own Disney Plus show, or maybe a Marvel animated show? I also think it would be cool if Spider Man kind of interacts with the mutants at some points too. Because I think there has been the joke of, is Spider Man a mutant? And I feel like if there's anyone who understands the X Men, it would be Spider Man. I'll add Kitty Pride in this lineup too. I don't think they deserve a show. I think they should like get a movie, like, because Fox was planning a whole movie, not a trilogy in the way, like way more than a trilogy of X-Men Origins. That's why X-Men Origins Wolverine was called X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Origins caused it was a part of a larger movie setup. Okay, interesting. It's been a while since I've seen that movie too. So that's definitely a movie on the list that I am gonna review. Also, if they get a show, I think all the X Men should get one. Like some, not some random mutants. I think it's like, let's say my lineup becomes a reality. Each one should get their own movie or show. Okay. Yeah, give a little backstory on each one. Because I'll really like when you think about it, just about the main lineups for the X Men have some interesting origin stories and even side stories that they go on. Like it would be cool to see Wolverine and Madripoor, like some side stories like in the comics. Like he goes on these side stories in Madripoor. We've seen Madripoor and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So maybe we'll get some more of how that is. Um, Maybe Cyclops, like what was it like for him to kind of come into terms of him understanding what it's like to be an X-Men and how much pressure that had to be for him? If I was Marvel, I would do an X-Men movie where they're already established, no origin stories, and then I think they should come out with another X-Men movie called X-Men First Class, or they could make a yeah. That's what I'm hoping, that with this X-Men team that they're already established. And then if you want to do, again, if you want to do like side stories in between where they go on, I don't know, maybe they have to go on some side quest or something. Like you know, they'll find some kind of way to bring some story elements into it. Let's see, a show where basically it could be like Xavier Institute. Let's say it's a show where it has to be like X Men First Class storyline in it, and then it has like each X Men origin story in it, and then they can continue with the X Men movies that will eventually end, and then they can go into the next phase. Okay, that's a really nice way of doing it. I could see that. Yeah, like a one big movie, like you said, like First Class. It's been a while since I've watched it, but just going over their origins, but not really going too far into their origins. Yeah. There's a lot of cool things they can do with the X Men, and a lot of good stories they can pull from. X Men '97 has proved that they can pull some great stories out of the comics and do their own little twist to it and make them something special. So, yeah. Which I can't lie, I miss X Men '97. I miss these Wednesdays when the show would just come out and we would just talk about it, and that was just a very exciting time to just be an X Men fan, but also be a Marvel fan. Like I miss that time. That was like the best time for me on YouTube, honestly. Like I enjoy doing those live streams and stuff, and I miss doing live streams, but I'm trying to get back into that. But like I said, I know people want to see it, but I don't want to see it. The modern X Men comics adapted into live action. I really don't like those comics. Really, really, because it feels like a whole different thing that isn't X Men. Yeah, I understand. I don't really read the modern X Men comics. I just kind of stick to Uncanny X Men, like the classic Uncanny X Men run, the X Men run, Giant Size X Men, Jim Lee X Men, which Jim Lee X Men will always have a special place in my heart because that was like the first ever X Men comics that I've read, and just seeing his designs for the characters and Chris Claremont and just the stories that he was telling. Like Jim Lee is on, like I feel like he doesn't get enough praise for being an artist, you know, a comic book artist, and he went on to do not just X-Men but Batman and Superman, and he's the head of DC Comics, and he streams on Twitch. He was actually on Twitch the other day. He was restoring I believe it's one of the Wolverine comics he drew the back of, and he's trying to restore it. Check out his Twitch Twitch streams. They're very cool. You get to see him draw and his art experience, and it's really fun learning about his experience as a comic book artist. Maybe X Men 275 can be adapted. Yeah, that's a good one. I would love to see that adapted because there's a lot of great story they can pull from that one. So I'm hoping that they do the Uncanny X Men, you know, runs and stuff, because again, there's a lot they can pull, and like I said, X Men '97 has proved that they can, you know, go there. They can go there and tell these stories. Well, while we're on the topic of X-Men, what X-Men characters would you guys like to see in Deadpool and Wolverine? What X-Men characters do you think are going to appear in X-Men? I mean, X-Men, Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's see if you guys said anything else. What's in who's an underrated X-Men character in your opinion? That's a good question. Underrated. Um, I feel like Bishop is underrated. Even though we see, like, you see Bishop in X-Men 97, you see him in the comics, but I feel like, Bishop is a very underrated character. Because I'm sure there's a lot more Bishop can do, and even reading what Bishop can do and in the future and stuff. So I feel like Bishop is a very underrated character. You don't really hear many people talk about him as like some of their favorite characters. See, maybe Cyclops. Cyclops would be cool to see. James Marsden as Cyclops. I feel like James Marsden as Cyclops didn't get the justice he deserves, and I hate the way they did him in the movies, because I feel like he would have been like a really cool Cyclops had they had just done him right and stuff. I would love to see Cyclops, Jean Grey, and Darwin, but I think they're not gonna focus on the X-Men like those past ones. I heard they're gonna focus on like Daredevil, maybe even old Blade movies. I also think that maybe the original X-Men trilogy, not the more recent one, but like the original characters, they might poke fun at the newer X-Men movies because of how bad they were in general. I think it wasn't that bad. I think it wasn't that bad in those recent movies. As if I remember correctly, the recent movies, like I said, it's been a while since I've watched the recent movies, but I can tell you like the first X Men film, the second X Men film, and maybe Days of Future Past, like those films, those are films that like people like still rave and talk about to this day. But like I don't really hear people talk too much about the recent X Men films, and even when they do, they kind of talk badly about them. So yeah, I also have a lineup if they do Days of Future Past story again. Yeah, if they decide to do it, I like how they did it in the original film. I thought it was really cool. Um, that's probably one of my favorite X Men movies is Days of Future Past, and obviously like the first one and the second one, I enjoyed those too. And you know what's crazy about that is the fact that you know Blade, X Men, and Sam Raimi's Spider Man pretty much helped us start what we have today. If it wasn't for those three franchises, if it wasn't for those three films and their trilogies and stuff like that, we wouldn't have Iron Man. And I know people give Iron Man a lot of credit. No, Iron Man started Marvel. That's fine if you feel that way, but personally, me, Blade, X Men, and Spider Man, those three films helped Iron Man become a thing in 2008. And the history goes on and on. You know what I mean? So I have appreciation for those films, for what they were able to do and what they were able to help us accomplish up to now. Let's see, but also they might try to revisit the 2000s Fantastic Four, movies, not the 2015 one, because I don't think no one wants to remember that. They might poke fun at the 2015 one. Yeah, I could see that. I could also see them say like, I could have sworn Feige said something about a Fantastic Four movie. Definitely there isn't one coming out, but you guys will do, or something like that. I heard they might poke fun of Disney, like Mickey Mouse, which could be cool. Yeah, because remember in one of the trailers, it's like I think he said something like something pegging is for Disney or something like that, and then he looked at the screen. So I could definitely see that, and also like I went to the movies like a couple weeks back to see Deadpool, to see Bad Boys 4, which Bad Boys 4, by the way, if you guys have not seen Bad Boys 4, let me tell you, Bad Boys 4 was a phenomenal film. The guys that the directors that did uh, Bad Boys 4, people want them to do Spider-Man 4. I'm down with them doing Spider-Man 4 if they get them, because some of the camera work they do in that movie is just really phenomenal and creative, and they could really do a Spider-Man movie justice. But yeah, all around Bad Boys 4, enjoyed the movie. Great comedy, great action. Um, Reggie, if you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, let's see. Will Sunspot, Iceman, Kitty Pryde, and Bishop. This is my Days of Future Past X-Men team. I like that. Blade, X-Men, Spider-Man really kicked off Marvel movies in general. Yeah, and that's why I give those movies I give those movies their roses, because again, like, people give Iron Man credit, and like I said, I understand if you give Iron Man that credit, but Iron Man didn't start this thing. Marvel had made some movies in the past, but some of them weren't successful. But Blade was successful because around that time Marvel was going to go bankrupt. Which, yeah, like, it's mind blowing that a company that now is probably millions and millions and probably billions of dollars worth was about to go bankrupt at one time. Also, like Stan Lee, like if it wasn't for Stan Lee and all the comic book writers of the past who wrote these amazing stories and did all these amazing visuals and illustrations, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. We wouldn't be talking about what do we think the next X-Men team is gonna be. We wouldn't be doing this. So if it wasn't for them, so I always got to give them their props and flowers too. What's your favorite Marvel movie? Can I give you can I give you like two? Cuz I have like two favorites. So, Captain America The Winter Soldier is probably my number one favorite Marvel movie. I love the action in that movie, the story, the dynamic with Cap and Natasha. We get the introduction of Falcon in that movie. Um, I mean, Bucky Barnes. I mean, come on, like the sword fighting, like the scene with Cap on the boat with him fighting, and I love that scene so much. And so, Captain America: The Winter Soldier will always be number one, but Black Panther is it's a close tie between that movie and Black Panther, because Black Panther really set like a big emotion in me, and I'm gonna go there as an African American, and again, like, not having many African American heroes, and we've always been the sidekicks, we've always been the villains, we've always been this, right? So the fact that I was able to see someone of my color being this smart and strategizing and just having all these people behind him, like it was just a very awesome experience. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and I hope that Marvel does not close the chapter on Black Panther. We need Black Panther. For me, I need Black Panther because he gave me a lot of strength during times when I felt like I didn't have any. So I hope that they recast T'Challa, recast Black Panther because we need him. We need him in the MCU. And I'm not trying to down on Shuri or nothing. I know Shuri becomes Black Panther in the comics, and I understand, but I feel like we need T'Challa. T'Challa is the guy. He is the person that Wakanda is centered around him, and you don't get the stories outside of it without T'Challa. So that's how I feel about it. And just in the comics, like his first appearance with the Fantastic Four, like come on, like such so iconic. So Black Panther will for always be a character in my heart that I enjoy. So again, it's a long-winded answer. I'm sorry, but Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther. Those are my two favorite Marvel movies of all time. Let's see, yours, Marvel fan, is Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy is a phenomenal film as well. Shout out to James Gunn now going over to DC and doing more phenomenal work. But Guardians of the Galaxy, taking characters, not well known characters, and making them some of the most beloved characters that people know. People know Star Lord, people know Drax, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, like Groot. Like, come on, like what he was able to do with the three movies and the holiday special that he made, and even the I Am Groot, miniseries that they have, you know, it's awesome to see like these characters that no one really knew or cared about. He made them characters that we care about. And that's why I'm super excited for Creature Commandos when that comes out in December, because if he's able to do that with Guardians of the Galaxy, if he's able to do that with the Suicide Squad, like I can imagine what he was thinking about doing Creature Commandos. So I'm really looking forward to that show, and I can't wait for us to get a trailer because I'm definitely gonna react to it. And just knowing that James Gunn wrote all those episodes himself, and we know that some of those characters are going to be coming into the DCU, mainline. So again, really excited about that. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3, those will hold. Those three will always hold a special place in my heart. Even 2 is up there. Yeah, I went. I tell you, last year going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, my heart was hurt. There were so many times in that movie where I got emotional and I cried. And ah man, because just Rocket, like Rocket is such a cool character, and hearing about his backstory was just so heartbreaking. With the High Evolutionary, and the shout out to the guy who played the High Evolutionary. He's also in Peacemaker, by the way, too. So that's a little bit more connection. So, oh snap. I think the lights just went out. So, yeah. The lights just went out here. Uh, so that's probably not a good thing. So I'm probably going to end the stream. I'm really sorry. I hated that this happened. I thought it wasn't going to rain today, but it is. So I don't know if the lights are going to come back on. So I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to try to maybe do a stream sometime this week. I'm really sorry that this happened. So we'll just pick up where we left off sometime this week. So, yeah. Read your comments. Yeah, High Evolutionary, the guy that played him. Yeah, amazing. What a performance from him. Shout out to him. Looking forward to what he's doing in the DCU. Good live. Thank you. Thank you, Miss LaShonda. Thank you for coming in. We'll definitely do another live stream, Jace Live at 5, when it the lights are not off and it's not raining. There's currently a storm and I didn't realize it, but again, really sorry. Thank you guys for coming through. Amazing conversations. Really enjoyed them. And yeah, as I always say, big love to you all and peace out. If I can get this, there we go.